It's a great time to be alive because we have access to all kind of technologies which help us to share our own stories. This video is focused on the use cases of the GoPro Hero 12 action camera compared to the DJI Mini 3 Pro drone. These are two different categories of cameras, but they have pretty similar use while traveling, and that is to capture yourself in the middle of the action so you can take along with loved ones. We bought the DJI Drone and the GoPro over 1 year ago, and I have used them so far in 2 big trips. Since the camera cannot really capture what the human eye can see, we were hoping to use these two technologies to show the landscapes in a more immersive way. How did they work? Let's find out. I don't want to break down the technical features of either DJI Drone or the GoPro now, because there are many videos on YouTube explaining this already into great detail, and to be honest, probably they do a better job than I do. But for me and the way I use the drone and the GoPro, I think the most significant differences are that the GoPro Hero 12 is filming in 5.3K and it is waterproof, you can use it in every kind of conditions. And the DJI Mini 3 Pro is filming in 4K and it is not waterproof, so you can use it only when there is nice weather outside. So let's see where the DJI really shines. It can capture spectacular videos of landscapes, nature, cities. It is great for filming little intro segments to give a little overview where the action is happening. It can also film you as a subject from far and from close. With enough imagination and skills, you can make your story look very professional. It can also track you while hiking, biking, driving, skiing and so on. When comparing the videos from DJI and the GoPro on a big screen, the DJI videos seem to be sharper, sometimes with more details, which is a good thing. But there are some limitations to start with. First of all, I wanted to use it primarily for biking. With the controller mounted on the handlebar, I quickly realized that I need to use both of my hands to make cinematic videos while riding a bike. So filming complex videos is out of the discussion while being on a bike. Then there is the tracking. You cannot film yourself as a point of interest while moving, so there is the active tracking left as an option. Another disadvantage is if you send the drone too far, it stops recognizing you as a target. Then, if you keep the drone too high, it will film you at a very direct angle, so there will be no landscapes in the shot. So the best active tracking for moving subjects, if you want to see some landscape in the shot, is trace active tracking, but you have to keep the drone 3 to 5 meters from the ground, so you have to keep the drone relatively low. The bypass obstacle avoidance is also not very reliable. When there is a lot of vegetation around, you can expect anything, like it happened to our drone in Vietnam.
This is an obstacle avoidance test for DJI Mini 3 Pro. Before starting this test, make sure that you have the location of the drone updated on the controller. After the location is updated, make sure that the camera is in either portrait or landscape orientation, just so, depending on how you want to film. Make sure you hit the record button and then we launch the drone. Before thinking I'm mad, you should know that this drone crashed already in Vietnam. So the drone was just following us, the obstacle avoidance was set to bypass, and it just crashed a few branches of a tree. I don't know how this happened, but you should know that the obstacle avoidance can be sometimes really tricky with DJI.
The parallel active tracking will put you in a similar situation, especially when there is a bit hilly. In parallel tracking, there are no sensors for obstacle avoidance, so any trees or wires can knock your drone out. To spoil a bit the end, I already sold the DJI Mini 3 Pro and we will use our GoPro 12 in our next adventure, and it's going to be epic. If you like our channel, subscribe now, follow us on other social networks and consider supporting our next world mountain bike tour on PayPal or Patreon. We will start in a few weeks from Germany and we will ride towards east, through the Alps, the Balkan countries, Turkey, Georgia, Kyrgyzstan, Asia, New Zealand and Peru as much as possible on off-road trails. Every coffee you'll offer us on PayPal or Patreon will make possible for us to take you along in our 1-year adventure. If you are traveling alone, the GoPro will produce boring results unless you use a selfie stick. For example, if you are mountain biking alone, you can only show the trail, but you will not have somebody in front of you to make things a bit more interesting. For any other group activities, I find the GoPro to have superior advantages. The fact that you can capture with one button even when the camera is off saves you a lot of time and effort. It might also be annoying for your friends to always wait for the drone to be in the right position and so on. And even if the GoPro has sometimes glitches like not responding, it can be easily fixed. Compare that with a broken drone that you have to carry with you for 3 more weeks because the obstacle avoidance did not work in the first week, and you can understand how frustration feels. When comparing the DJI Drone with a GoPro, I think the price is a very important factor, and most importantly, the fact that the GoPro costs less than half of the price of the drone. It is small, lightweight, waterproof, and it can be mounted in every position on your vehicle, body, stick or whatever. The video resolution is in theory better, the stabilization is great during any kind of activity, and the video format is great for both portrait or landscape stories. I find the GoPro to be a must-have tool for anybody who wants to film their holiday or family events, considering that it produces videos way better than a phone, and it can also take a lot of abuse. Let's say because of the size and the way you're keeping your phone, there are more chances to damage a high-end smartphone while filming than losing your money breaking a GoPro. So this is my final advice about the two devices. If you're traveling alone and if you want to film yourself, buy a DJI Drone. It will work better for activities when you have both hands free, but for biking I would skip it unless you are planning to bike alone in a really breathtaking landscape, because it's just harder to control it while riding. So from a biker perspective, I would stick with a GoPro for now. For the things I need, some technologies are better than others. Do you think this comparison is even fair? Write me your opinion in the comments below. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.